So yeah, let's start now. Entrepreneurship is not something which needs to be spoken about now. We all know what it is. So let's cut the crap and get straight to the point. Okay. Entrepreneurs are folks who are good at what they do and create more value of the same, and not only enhance societal wealth, but also their wealth. Solution to biggest problems of any country can be solved by entrepreneurs. Take Israel for instance. But having said that, if I cut the glamour apart, very few people understand, and being one myself, I can say this, and I'm sure most of my fellow panelists will agree. Entrepreneurship is a stressful and a lonely job. You have very few people to look for advice. You need to motivate yourself daily. You get punched in the face in the on your biggest strength, and wake up the next day as if nothing happened and still move ahead. Last 7 months have been extremely crucial for most entrepreneurs. And if I cut the data, then GDP is down by 24% quarter on quarter. 7 out of 8 sectors have registered negative growth. An analysis of 1686 companies by CARE reveals that there is a negative relationship between the size of the firm and drop in sales. So if your firm has a turnover of around 25 to 50 crores, it's highly likely that your revenue has fallen down by almost 56%. And most of the entrepreneurs in India fall in this category. So, rather than keeping the focus of what keeps India's entrepreneurship flame burning, let me rephrase this question to all the panelists, because I believe the answer is quite subjective and personal. Let me rephrase that because I have young minds, the privilege of having young minds. Let me rephrase and ask, what keeps your flame burning in these times? What keeps your mojo alive, and what gets you up every day? I'll start with Sahil. Sahil, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Hi, Sahil. Yes, I can hear you crystal clear. Please, what keeps your mojo alive in these times, Sahil?
Okay, first of all, I'm in San Francisco, so it's 4:30 a.m. If I sound disoriented, please excuse me.
No. It's perfectly okay. Then you are the first one. I've asked you rightfully because you are in San Francisco and it's 4:30. So what got you up in the morning?
For me, it's always about solving problems. I'm in the healthcare sector, and there are big problems concerning healthcare in India, especially in these times. It has always been, healthcare in India is fragmented completely, and it needs, a lot of young people, young minds, entrepreneurs burning, trying to solve big problems, and that's pretty much the same for me. I think lots of people in India cannot afford, any health service, and it will require lots of work, over several years to solve that. So for me, it's just getting care to people.
Sure, care to people. Yeah. And because Sahil belongs in the fertility business, so he has that sensitive approach to his business, and I get that. Neha, from sensitivity to fitness, what about your mojo? What makes you up every morning, and especially in these times?
Yeah, Abhinav. So completely, I agree. I think I had read this somewhere, and it sort of really resonates. And I'm assuming my co-panelist also feels so, which was basically to say that what is it to be an entrepreneur? And somebody has basically said that it is actually to ride a lion. You basically think that you're riding the lion. The lion's going to kill you. The next very second you're going to be off it, and he's going to eat you off. Others are thinking, oh my God, look at this person riding the lion, right? So I think that's how like the picture of entrepreneurship is. It is like you said, very unnerving, very exciting. And I think to answer your question, with regards to what has happened over the last 5-6 months. While Fiternity has been almost a 6-year-old company, we've sort of built the fitness ecosystem in India from scratch. I think for us, what really changed and our fate changed on 15th of March is when we realized that we need to really rethink the business, end to end, offline fitness, retail fitness, which is what we aggregate. Is no longer actually available due to lockdown and people can't access it, right? So it felt really like becoming a startup back in 2014 when we had launched, where there was again sort of back to basics, back to questioning basic fundas, back to starting from scratch, And so I would say that it has been a journey that sort of takes you back into how you really started, and you pretty much look at business in the new light. So what we've done quickly, we've basically really explored the virtual fitness bit, worked on it tirelessly over the last 5 months. We have added a lot of virtual offerings. Very excited to say that consumers have actually taken on workout from home in a great manner, and we're sort of trying to ride the wave.
Neha has highlighted. Neha has effectively displayed that poem. When you feel like quitting, just go back to the reason on why you started. Isn't that true, Neha? Isn't that what you just did?
Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely.
From fitness, let's move to biceps. Ranveer, I've seen you asking this question quite a lot of times to all the hosts. Now let me ask this question to you. What's your mojo? What's keeping your flame alive these days? वो सब छोड़ो, पहले बताओ स्पॉन्सर वॉन्सर मिल रहे हैं कि नहीं वीडियो कंटेंट में?
I hate saying this, especially on this panel where the mood is like, oh man, our businesses have been it. Like my businesses have benefited a lot. One, industry that's really benefited because everyone's sitting at home. Everyone's spending a lot more time on social media. So we saw maybe like a 20% dip in the first month. Like when Modi ji just announced in March, maybe like 1 month was a 20% dip and that's it. And since then, it's been an even stronger bounce back in terms of money, in terms of numbers. The one downside is that everyone from like the social media creators to the actual people who run back-end, services for social media, everyone's under a lot of stress because there's just a volume of stuff coming into our lives. Like we weren't ready for this amount of marketing to enter our lives. I mean, everyone wants to market now only through Instagram, through your Twitters and all. The quantity of work has increased, and I think that's kind of the fuel. Like for me, it's not been as difficult as it is for other entrepreneurs. But talking about entrepreneurship, what I'd like to highlight is that the nature of any entrepreneur is that all of us love the hunt much more than the actual prize. So when there's a challenge that comes our way, I mean, we embrace it, and I feel that 5 years from now, everyone's going to look back at this phase and say that that's probably the best thing that happened because it gave us a lot of direction for the future.
That's very true. I'm already charged up. Let's move to media planners in the panel. Samidip, how about you? How are you? And what's your mojo? What's driving you these days?
Right. So Abhinav, the reason that Tricycle exists is because we believe in entrepreneurship. That's the purpose. When we started Tricycle, the whole idea was that with so many entrepreneurs coming, so many new businesses coming, there had to be someone who was there to take care of these new businesses and help in building their brand stories. So that's why we exist. So to answer your question, everyone else is the reason. All the entrepreneurs are the reason that we exist and that drives us. Now coming back to the specific question about these hard times, the way we look at it, these are the times where there is going to be a lot of new ideas that are going to come out. A lot of like Neha said that there's going to be probably change in the business model. People are going to come out with new ways in which they will relook at their businesses. And that's a perfect opportunity for someone like us to come in and work with them and try and tell their stories in a new way, in a more engaging way, in a more effective way. Everything is kind of changing. The audience, the mood, the way people are going about conducting their businesses, and most importantly, there's one spirit that binds all the entrepreneurs together is that we are fighters. We are here to make sure that we can ride this tide and we can move towards the next opportunity that is right ahead of the curve. So that's what we are interested in, and that's what we are working towards. And yes, that's what is keeping us motivated.
Moving on to the next energy curve. Janardhan Pandey ji, namaskar. कैसे हैं आप?
Yes. Hi. Can you hear now?
Yes, we can hear you.
All well, Abhinav, सब बढ़िया हैं. आप सब बढ़िया?
जी बढ़िया सर. बताइए, what's keeping you up these days, charged these days in these some times, and definitely I'll come to Prem after this.
Yeah. So I must say that going through all interactions of these young people, best thing about being an entrepreneur is that you are never old. At 48, I am as young, as restless as all these people are.
Yes, sir. You look like a 21-year-old still.
So I don't remember my age, but this I'm into sales and branding business. I'm into food business. one business is closed, other business is like 90% down. But still, this time of lockdown because of Corona crisis, given me an opportunity to re-energize myself and my ideas and my thoughts. Reconnect with my dreams in a far better way, because in a rush of life we are not able to do so many things on a proper way, and replan. So I am sure that there are going to be a lot more opportunities, because there are going to be a lot more problems. We Indians, we see a lot of opportunities because we have a lot of problems. We have huge market, so there is nothing to be worried about. It's just a time of survival.
Sure.
What we are doing is that so we are keeping ourselves afloat. All employees motivated, connected, and not feeling left out. And then we are rebuilding ourselves, our plans and our future objectives, so that when the market opens up and things are normalizing, or even whatever way it is going, we are forever ready to take the advantage of that. And if there is any such situation after a few years, a few months, such as this, what we suffered, we were not ready. But next time we won't suffer like this. We won't bleed. He said that you must be ready. The more you sweat in the peace, the less you bleed in the war. And that this is the army saying, but now it's practical for businesses also. So that's where
it has always been practical for business, sir. But the thing is that every time new crisis occurs, we are again back to square one, and that's how human life has been. That's how entrepreneurship learning has been. Prem, coming to you. Prem, can you hear me? Prem, can you hear me? I think. Hello, Prem, can you hear me? Is there something wrong with my audio?
No, we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. I think Prem can't hear us. Prem, can you hear me? I think there's some connection problem at his end. Okay, we'll come to him later. So, we all spoke about this fact that entrepreneurship is about like that sine curve, which is up one day and down one day, and then we keep on going ahead. But there is something which most people do not talk about. And being an entrepreneur myself, I would like to take that liberty. You cannot motivate your people, and I would not call them employees. I will call them your partners and your colleagues. You cannot motivate people unless you yourself are motivated and charged every day. So, in this tough times, how do you take care of your mental health? Because that is extremely important. And if I do a quick survey, is everybody here a first generation entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Yes.
We are all first generation entrepreneurs. Now, we all understand that when you move from, a typical employee mindset to an entrepreneurial mindset, it's a gradual shift. You need mental toughness, emotional maturity. We are not taught these things firsthand. We learn a lot of things, and then crisis like this happens, we are again back to square one. So what keeps your mental health in shape? And because we are talking about fitness, let's start with Neha. How do you maintain your mental fitness, Neha?
Yeah. No, Abhinav, I think what you actually brought about is a very important point. On two counts. One is that if your glass is full, is when you can actually pour and give others, right?
Exactly.
So one, about your own motivation and how you're looking at the situation, and second, overall, I think mental health, is actually coming into foray in terms of how important it has become, right? So I think just some learnings that we've sort of seen, personally for me, I try and ensure that I work out. That gives me not only sort of that physical time out, but also gives me that mental sort of strength. I also sort of, read and see about crises that other entrepreneurs have faced, right? So for example, the 2008 crisis impacted everybody, right? I mean, we know of, these kind of cyclical things that have happened and changed the universe and what we call the new normal, which is also happening now. So for me, I think reading, working out personally really helps. And I think from a mental well-being standpoint, it's a very important point. At Fraternity, for example, we're taking it very seriously with our team members as well, because like you said, right, it's about taking them together with us in this crisis situation. How are you giving them access to a call or engaging them to say that, we're a call away, you can talk to us, because everybody is going through COVID cases in their family, in their near and dear ones, right? Mm-hmm. So that support system is something that I really believe that as an entrepreneur, you need to do, and that's how you will sort of stand out, right? 3 months from here, 6 months from here, looking back, you will realize that this is that one thing that could have had more impact than cramming in 12 hours day of work, right?
Exactly.
Building health right for yourself and for your team members, I think would have a far more impact. And I completely agree with what you're saying.
Sahil, you're up at 4:30. I mean, I'm really thankful that you joined us from such a इतने ज़्यादा distance से और इतने सही time पे. But let me ask you this question: how much does it take for an entrepreneur to take care of his mental health? Because that is ultimately which keeps the flame burning.
I was raising money recently for my company, and one of the VCs told me that I don't invest in unfit founders. So if you cannot take care of yourself, like I don't think you can take care of the company. I won't call myself the fittest founder, but I try to work out, as Neha mentioned, like that's important. I try to meditate. That's another thing that I've started doing of late, even though if it's like I'm not a pro at it right now, but I'm trying. And then I have 2 little kids, toddlers, which are the biggest stress busters for me. So yeah, I mean these are the things that I try to do in terms of mental health. Obviously there's family and support. There's a support system, and you want to switch off after work at some point, which is very hard to do as a founder, because your mind is constantly working. So I mean you need to find the balance and just stick to it.
Find the balance and stick to it. Prem, hi, am I audible to you now?
Yes. Sorry, my internet connection was unstable. Yes.
No problem. We're glad we found you back. So let me reframe both the questions which I asked the other panelists. First is, how do you keep your mojo up? And secondly, how do you take care of your mental health? If you can answer both of them, Ikshak.
Okay. Yes. So as an entrepreneur, I feel we always have a never give up attitude, because that's the thing that I think every entrepreneur has. We know the reality, like 90% of businesses don't make it their first year of their journey. It's not because they don't have a good product, it's because they are not able to market it. And that's where the problem is. Like in last 6-7 months, we have seen due to COVID, like it drastically impact our money.
I think we lost him again.
What we have very, and as an entrepreneur, I feel I always focused on revenues.
I think we lost him.
So I'm audible.
Prem, yes, your internet. You're singing. You're audible, but you're singing because of your internet connection. I think we lost him again. Ranveer.
Yes.
Let's come to you. How do you take care of your mental health, buddy? How do you motivate others? How do you motivate yourself?
Okay, I want to echo what Neha said, who happens to actually be my first boss. My first internship out of college was at Fraternity. And she also happens to be my last brand association of Beer Biceps before lockdown. Anyway.
Oh, that's great.
Amazing thing that you did. It was such an amazing video that Ranveer shot. Sorry, go ahead.
Thank you, ma'am. So basically, again, I'd echo everything she said about physical fitness, the right books. Meditation is something I've been doing for the last 5 years. Just happened to come into my life. Like I discovered yoga very early, like right after college, and I'm seeing its power now. Like when there's stress going on, when I see mental health issues all around me, it gives you a certain sense of stability, which is what you need as an entrepreneur. Like on the podcast recently, we had Nitin Kamath from Zerodha, and the whole podcast, it was like a 3-hour long podcast, and the whole podcast boiled down to one line: is that he believes in stoicism a lot as an entrepreneur, which is basically not getting affected by highs or lows. So that's something that yoga, meditation gives you automatically. So irrespective of what's happening, you're perpetually calm. And I'd really recommend any entrepreneur watching this to take up a meditation habit. It's like having a superpower as an entrepreneur. And the third thing I'd really suggest is if you are actually searching for that next bit of motivation, there's 2 solutions. The first is this documentary on Netflix. It's called The Last Dance. It's Michael Jordan's life story. So I'd recommend every entrepreneur to watch it, because there's a lot of team building lessons, a lot of motivational lessons. And the second thing is watch my podcast on YouTube. There's lots of entrepreneurs. We had Ritesh Agarwal, we've had Nitin Kamath. They're all talking about these things. And I think entrepreneurs feed off of each other, and of like everyone's kind of in that same mindset of growth and building and troubleshooting. So just absorb a lot of data about what's happening around you. And really, I turn to sports personally. Like that's where I find my inspiration. So I really push people to watch The Last Dance on Netflix.
Sure. A fisherman can only motivate another fisherman. Sammedeep.
Yeah.
आप कैसे अपनी mental health balance करते हैं? How do you motivate yourself?
Right. I think the most important thing here is to, probably I'll answer this question, from two different perspectives. The first point that I want to make is, being an entrepreneur, is very tough, and we all know that, right? So we need to, probably after a point in time, not take ourselves very seriously, not take things very, very seriously. You understand that, there are challenges and there are going to be fluctuations. So it's very important to kind of be in an acceptance mode to begin with. Everyone is trying hard, everyone is doing their bit, everyone is trying to make sure that, they are able to make the most of the situation that they are in. So an acknowledgement is probably the first thing that, we got to acknowledge each other. The second thing is that we have to build this capacity of empathizing with everyone else. There are a lot of entrepreneurs who are doing well, and there are a lot of others who are probably not doing well. So we as a community, I think that is a very important thing for entrepreneurship and entrepreneurs in general, that we need to come together. Right, we have all had a similar kind of energy, a similar kind of journey. The motivations are the same, the frustrations are the same. So it's very important that if you find someone who's done well, probably achieved something, be the first one to just say hi to him, say that great job to him. We have our LinkedIn, we are all connected, but we should engage more, we should communicate more. And if as a community, if all entrepreneurs can come together, then that is something which can ease out the pressure, because that there is someone else who believes in you. There is someone else who kind of understands and empathizes with you. That's one part. Individually, it's very important, as Neha mentioned, to be connected with your team members. This connect is not necessarily only about work or only about work-related matters. You've got to kind of believe in them more than ever before, because their performance might get affected because of reasons that you are not aware of. So firstly, we got to acknowledge that the team is together. I see this time of crisis as a great opportunity to come together, to get close, to understand, to believe in each other's ability. And if as a team we are together, then whenever there are better opportunities, we'll be able to go and hunt as a pack.
Go and handle it. So Pandeyji, let me come to you. I mean, do you believe with the other panelists that you need to be little spiritual, little attached, and at the same time you should have that ability to let go of things when they're not working in your favor, to nurture your mental health?
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever they all said is all perfectly practically is the way we should look at the things. Because as Neha said, most important is that we have to be healthy, because our health defines our mental fitness. Then connectivity. And then Soumya is saying about being connected to your peer group, like the other people in the businesses. So I've spent a lot of time talking to all these people. We motivated each other, we shared a lot of ideas, we shared problems and everything, because I believe so this is the first time that everybody is into problems. Even people who are doing well, they are also stressed out. I know people who are into healthcare businesses, they have a lot of demand, but they are stressed out because there is an uncertainty. But we have to remember, while sharing and talking to them, there is a point that everything can be destroyed except a future. An entrepreneur works for the future. Okay, so till the time we believe into future and we are positive about it, we can rebuild anything. So while talking, so it helped a lot for me talking to at least 10 to 12 similar my peer group entrepreneurs across the world, I can say, within India and across the world. And we all connected so well, and it became positive. After a few weeks of the lockdown, everything is seeming to be positive now.
Correct.
That's right. So whatever all the panelists shared is all so good that we have to be healthy, we have to be connected to our employees, we have to keep them motivated, we have to. So these problems are time bound, but there are assets like we all are startup. We have very limited employees. We cannot let them go. For us,
Correct.
unlike large groups, for us it is very painful to let go even one employee out of any reason.
One employee.
So
Correct,
for us, our survival is that keep ourselves fit, be happy, be positive about ourselves. We have got time to rethink and replan, be connected with how others are handling, emotionally and financially and other manners also. So it is a survival, and I think we are out of it. As far as our mental fitness is concerned.
I remember
negativity is almost gone. Yeah.
Sure. I remember last year, like we were speaking to Harsh Mariwala, he started this initiative where communication between or amongst the entrepreneurs is the key because of the shared experiences, and probably one entrepreneur has a solution for the other one, and because the experiences have been common. So that's a very valid point put by all the panelists here, that communicating amongst the fellow entrepreneurs is very important. Maybe you can just have those shared experiences.
Yeah,
so
I'll tell one thing. I have one point.
Sure.
See,
See,
I told you, in our lives, in our journey of business, we have gone through this kind of crisis. This is only 6 months. For couple of years, we never earned money. Like we have to search for every penny. But only thing, so this is our experience, and in those times also we used to. There were mentors. There were people who are guiding us, and we sailed through. This is the first time we all are into problems. So talking to each other, helping each other, understanding the situation will help a lot. Just be connected with top to bottom.
That's very true. That's very true. And let me bring this conversation to the last part. And since we are talking about the burning flame and mental health and stuff, and this question is open to all the panelists, of course. Entrepreneurship has always been perceived by the masses as a path to become a billionaire. Very few people understand the motivation and the soul story. I mean soul by SOUL, soul. The soul story of starting a firm. Every company or every entrepreneur has a sole reason to start something. So, Panditji, you are the most elderly youth here. So let me start framing that question towards you. While pursuing entrepreneurship, and in today's day and age, should an entrepreneur have his vision in mind, or should he or she follow the money? That's one. And second, while doing so, is having a vision more important, or is articulating that vision more important than having a vision?
So for me, having a vision is important. Chasing money is not bad. If we chase money and if we get it through all right means, it is fine. But if you don't become billionaire, but if you're successful, you're profitable, you have achieved things, and you don't regret doing anything, I think that is more important. If I become billionaire, but if I have done things past, and if I've done things which I shouldn't have, I'm guilty about. I shouldn't have done all those, not taken those decisions. I won't, be proud of myself. But with less of money, with more of happy people around me, with more of people, and I won't like anybody talking anything bad about me, that I ever did something which hurted them or make them lose something. So that is for myself, having a vision. When you have a vision, you are more positive, you are more constructive and everything. When you only chase money, I feel that there are bound to be some accidents and mistakes and guilty things on the way, which is
sure.
In my view, it's not right, but it's okay. It's a personal choice.
Sure. Sahil, when we talk about Sachin and Binny Bansal, people usually focus on the amount of money which they have earned out of the valuations of their companies. Nobody focuses on the toil and hard work. So, if I ask you, in today's day and age, an entrepreneur, should they focus on making money, or should they for a contentful sleep? What should be more important? A contentful sleep, happiness quotient, or billions of dollars in your bank account?
Contentful sleep is, I think, if you have, let's say a venture-backed company, contentful sleep is out of question, regardless. Like, you cannot have it. There is no way you're getting sleep after that. So I think there are two different ways to look at it. Like one is a lifestyle business where you've not taken money from anybody. You your business according to your own terms. And I think that is something that is a slower route in the sense that you cannot scale very quickly or grow to a $1 billion company. However, if you sort of take capital from someone else, if you raise money, then it sort of becomes important to think about money in a much more exactly. And then it becomes keeping your core in place, and your vision and your values. You need to chase after growth or revenue.
Sure.
So I think these are two ways to look at it, how I see it. Yeah.
Sure. Neha, what Sahil is recommending is to be a small giant. I mean, you refuse external money, but you be on a stress-free path, and you're able to do a lot of things and at the same time run your own company. Do you agree with that?
That's not what I recommended, though.
No?
No.
So I actually
these are the two ways.
Correct. No,
Yes.
don't actually agree with what Sahil is saying. I think when we had started the vision of Fraternity, we evaluated and said that okay, is it going to be a venture-backed business and then end of a lot of things, or is it going to be a lifestyle and business? And I think if you want scale, if you believe that your product has a large market, you want to go about it digitally, you need to be funded, you need to basically go out there faster, then I think the venture round, doing the venture round is the only option. And I think when you do that, I think it's not about the entrepreneur chasing money, but it's about fueling the business with what the business requires, right?
What the business requires.
Yes, and it's not just about investor expectations, which are of course very important, and your board sort of drives that as well with you. But I think it's about the fact that how do you look at the business, and what do you need to inject into the business, and the ambition linked to that. Whether is that getting fulfilled with regards to hiring more people, hiring the right people? Is it getting fulfilled by adding new service categories into what you're doing, or actually raising more capital, right? And I think a whole lot of what you see around these mega entrepreneurs is linked to them raising money, which is not just the only part of being an entrepreneur. So I feel it's a mix. You need to have the heart at the right place, have the vision going, but at the same time do what is right for the business. If it requires scaling, money, fundraising, so be it.
Sure. Ranveer, do you agree with your ex-boss?
So I've not raised any money yet. Both my businesses are bootstrapped, and I do intend on raising money on a few ideas I have going forward, because of the same reason that Neha mentioned. But I will tell you this, that while you're running bootstrap businesses, sleep you get is fantastic. You wake up every day with just this sense of, okay, I'm the overarching decision maker here. So I think if at all I raise money, which I will at some point for sure, I will miss the zone I'm in life right now. So this is like saying goodbye to my childhood as a businessman probably. And also in saying that, I am very inspired by Nitin Kamath. Again, like the conversation I had with him just changed my whole opinion on bootstrapping. But again, it depends too much on the kind of products you're making, the kind of industry you're in, the requirements, all that. So I would love to just have a bootstrap career, but I know that's probably not possible in the world of social media.
That's very true. That's very true. I mean, we can I can have a beer with you on that subject separately, Ranveer. But coming to Samriddhi,
yeah,
do you believe?
Yeah. So I think I would agree to all our panelists that we got to take a balanced approach here. It all depends on the kind of industry that you are in, the kind of your sector. But I do believe that there is a place and time for both the approach to probably converge. When you are starting out, it's very important to know why you're doing what you're doing. So if your purpose is very right, and that you have clarity of purpose, then it would be good to probably pursue it till the time the entire concept and then the entire proof of your idea is realized. And then probably the right time you would like to bring in stakeholders who understand the merit of what you are pursuing, and would want to collaborate so that you are able to achieve a greater outcome than pursuing it only by yourself. So yes, a balanced view is important, but most importantly, to answer your question, I would say vision is what takes you forward, and with time there can be evolution of the vision itself, but the purpose is something that it's constant, and the purpose is something that will drive us to kind of go about pursuing our goals and decision making.
That's very subjective though, but a very valid point. Prem, we'll have you let you have the last voice because we couldn't hear you properly.
Yeah, so I think starting a business is tough, and when we start a business, nobody gives you money. Like we see how Indian families react towards doing a business. I myself started 2 businesses, got failed 2 times, and then started Sino first. And it takes a lot of courage and mindset and a lot of hard work that as many people have pointed out these things here, kind of connect, kind of a family support that you need to have to run that kind of business. So I think we can start with bootstrapping, because we have to have a kind of proof where our business is making money, we are generating revenues. And if I see as a Sino first, I would I like Sino first in that way, business can stand itself, because that's the way we can create revenues, the business, and the value for the customers. And if you have a good customers with you and they are happy with your services, you are doing continuous innovations, you are doing continuous solutions to the clients, you are making their life easy, then definitely revenues and money would come eventually. So slowly you will build your business slowly. But yes, it's a long way to go. Entrepreneurship is not a destination, it's a journey, I would say.
That's a very valid point, and thank you to all the panelists. The only answer which I personally got out from this question, what keeps India's entrepreneurship flame burning, the only answer which I got out of this panel is it is subjectively ambitious. That's the only conclusion I could draw. But
Abhinav,
thank you. Yes, sir.
Abhinav,
Yes,
I want to
Pandit.
add for this youngster. So as an entrepreneur, we will have stress whether we raise money or we don't raise money. I have never approached anybody. But that stress, because it's a challenging task that we are into, we'll always have stress, But one thing is most important, it's better to be profitable, and it's best that you chase your dreams, just don't borrow to chase somebody else's dream. That is my philosophy. If I have a business plan, I will do on my own terms. I will not get money from somebody else who will tell me what to do next. So that is what I learned and follow. I thought I will share it with them. Stress is going to be, and that is we have to manage the stress. That's all. That is why we are paid for so much.
Sure, Panditji.
Thanks.
Your insight is always useful. Thank you to all the fellow panelists. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you especially Sahil from joining us overseas. इतने बजे सुबह 4:30
I shouldn't have told you. I shouldn't have told you, man.
So I'm in Toronto. I'm in Toronto. No, I also.
अरे आपने बताया नहीं सर. आपको भी मैं 2 बार धन्यवाद देता. But thank you. On a serious note, thank you.
I'm far better than you. Yeah.
But on a serious note, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much.
Nice
Thank you.
Bye.